For Steve, the protagonist of Minecraft, most people think his wife is Alex. But our team was surprised to find that in the single-player game, Steve couldn't be in the game at the same time as Alex, which would make Steve unable to reproduce. This has caused a lot of damage to Alex's identity as a wife, so we are hoping to find out who Steve's real wife is. After 114 months of research, we were convinced that we had found Steve's true wife, the blacksmith. This may surprise you, but why did Steve marry the blacksmith? It doesn't make sense. But I believe that after watching this video, you will be convinced of it. First of all, the research shows that a large part of Steve's first thing after entering the new world is to find a forge, which indicates that the forge has an innate attraction for Steve. This is consistent with evolutionary theory, as a blacksmith that does not attract Steve will not be able to mate with Steve and thus produce offspring. And in order to reproduce, Steve has also evolved a sexual desire for the forge, so Steve has a special love for the forge. Secondly, Steve would shout excitedly when he found the forge. Research shows that this is actually a courtship behavior. Shouting helps the forge notice Steve's arrival and prepare for mating in advance. During the mating process, Steve will insert his entire body into the smithy's body, and the smithy will reveal its treasure chest, which is the sex organ. Some Steves will stimulate the treasure chest repeatedly before fertilization to make the forge reach an orgasm, and the forge will also make a special sound to make Steve more excited, and then Steve will fertilize the treasure chest. After fertilization, Steve will leave the body of the forge satisfied, and inside the body of the forge, a forge cub is waiting for the time to be delivered by its mother, and the drama is just beginning. In the 15 years since the birth of Minecraft, no player has witnessed the delivery process of the forge. This is because the delivery process of the forge can only be carried out when the forge is in a weakly loaded block, so ordinary players cannot observe the delivery process of the forge. Therefore, the research on this part has puzzled us for a long time. It was only recently that we captured the precious birthing footage of the forge through replay technology. When the forge is in the weak load block, the forge will generate a small villager in the body, and this small villager will grow up to bind the forge grinding wheel and become a weapon maker, which is the forge cub. The smithy cub will take the iron from the treasure chest and trade the emerald with itself, which in turn will trade the emerald with itself for the iron axe, which is why the smithy chest is empty after mating with Steve. The blacksmith pups will use axes to chop down trees and then grow and develop in nature, gathering the nutrients they need for their metamorphosis. After the collection is completed, the forge cubs will come to a village in the weak load area for metamorphoses, and the collected nutrients will be placed according to the genetic setting, and eventually become adult forge, waiting for Steve's arrival. Well, that's all about Steve and the forge story. If you want to know more interesting MC knowledge, welcome to follow us. This is our biggest update motivation.